So, ladies and gentlemen, the problems continue inside of my Dream Blue Velvet shrimp tank, where shrimp are dying every day at this point. And I've tested every parameter. I've tested the pH, the ammonia, the nitrite, the nitrate, the TDS, the GH, the KH, phosphates, copper, chlorine, chloramine, and calcium. Tested all of it several times. I've had other people in their kits test it. Everything came out perfect. So why are the shrimp dying? Well, it has to be something other than what we tested, which means maybe it's something that there is no real test for. That's why I had this guy, my micro canister, in here for a while, because I thought maybe it's something in the water that is an anomalous. Maybe there's just no way to get rid of it, or to detect it, but there is a way to get rid of it. So I stuffed this with black diamond carbon and Purigen, a powerhouse, really, of filtration. I mean, it's a 1-2 punch for chemical filtration. Does a great job, and it made the water perfect. And I mean perfect as it can be, given the situation. The carbon is filtering everything out chemically. The Purigen is getting any sort of organic wastes, and it's done a great job at that. But the shrimp keep dying, and here's the thing. I think I finally know why, and it was only until after I moved this on the side that I got a good look at something in the back. Do you see all these bubbles? And you can see the bubbles rising and everything. Why do you think that is? Well, here's my theory, and it is a long shot theory, but it is a theory nevertheless that does fit the situation. It's anaerobic bacteria. Bacteria that is not easily cultured in freshwater aquariums if you're intentionally trying to do so. You see, the nitrogen cycle actually has an extra step that most freshwater aquariums don't do. There's ammonia gets converted to nitrite, the nitrite into nitrates, and from there we do water changes. But they call it the nitrogen cycle because the last form of bacteria, which is anaerobic, converts nitrate into nitrogen. And nitrogen is released as waste from this anaerobic bacteria in the form of a gas. And that's where you get these bubbles. And these bubbles will sit there until they reach a certain buoyancy in which they just float up. And you don't have any more nitrates. Now that sounds all fine and dandy in theory, but the problem is this anaerobic bacteria is known to poison and kill freshwater inhabitants, especially, well, I would imagine especially sensitive creatures like invertebrates. You see, normally anaerobic bacteria grows underneath the substrate, especially if you've got a large bit of it. That's why people say, hey, get Malaysian trumpet snails, because they'll aerate the substrate and prevent anaerobic bacteria from growing. This substrate is very, very thin. I have had a thick layer of algae, as you can see, for a while. And the anaerobic bacteria appears to be growing on this brown algae. So, that might be the reason why all these little guys are dying and why the snails hate this water. Anaerobic bacteria can be very useful if done properly, but if done like this, it would make sense that it would be killing everything. So despite the fact that this is a fully cycled tank, despite the fact that literally all the tests came out great, despite the fact that I filtered everything chemically and did water changes, and I had experts that I talked to, and I had them double check all my stuff with all their tests. We tried strips, liquid tests, and everything else we can think of. We have digital testers to back up our, water testing kits, and when you get to a point where you have exhausted all your options, you start to think, well, maybe they just, die for no reason, maybe? But no, look, there's always a reason. There has to be. Logically speaking, there is a reason why something would die. this anaerobic bacteria forming nitrogen could be causing anaerobic bacteria poisoning to my little inhabitants in this tank. Not good. So, what am I doing about it? I am transferring all my Dream Blues to a brand spanking new tank. This tank is fully cycled. It's literally new. It's never had anything in it. Yeah, okay, the substrate is recycled, but it was boiled like crazy on an induction cooktop outside for about 30 minutes on the highest setting. Anything that was in there that could be bad or dangerous is dead, bacteria or otherwise. So it might as well just be inert and just reused. So, that's nice, that's cool. So, what did I learn from this? Well, perhaps I do need something to stir up the substrate, but for the love of God, I'm not going with Malaysian trumpet snails. I hate them so much. What I am going to do is get a rabbit snail and put it in there. Rabbit snails are fun. They're huge, they reproduce slowly, and they do the same job better, in my opinion. And since I don't have any plants, I don't have to worry about them uprooting any plants. Cool. Okay, so I have a solution, and thankfully I had a solution sitting here. This was supposed to be for my Bloody Mary cherry shrimp, but, you know, emergencies are what they are, so gotta do what you gotta do. And I'm praying that this is the permanent solution to the situation, and that I've learned from my mistakes once again. But if you research, if you put your mind and grind those gears to it, there is always a reason for everything. It takes time, it takes patience, and it is sad to come into the basement every day and find another Dream Blue buddy dead, or any of my buddies passed away. Finding out what the reason is was difficult, but I think I got it. I hope I do. Once I transfer all the Dream Blues out of that nasty tank and put them in this brand spanking new tank, I am going to disassemble that tank. I'm going to scrub it clean, make it look freaking new. I'm even gonna just kibosh the filters to make all the algae on it gone. So that way when I put it back in, I will cycle it again from scratch, because what the heck, why not, if I'm going to go this far. But I think that is it. I think that's the theory that I'm going to go with for now, because I have no other working theories. At the very least, there's another tank that is perfectly capable of sustaining shrimp life right now. So, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for bearing with me. I know this journey has been stressful on me, but I really hope you guys learned a thing or two along from my mistakes, so that way you don't have to make the mistakes yourself. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay fishy.